Hi everyone. Today I am going to present the third session of the topic drug action. Today let us see the physiological action of some important drugs. The first drug is Aconitum napellus. This drug is from the family Ranunculaceae. It commonly called aconite, monkshood and wolf's bean. Aconitum napellus is a highly toxic flowering plant in the genus Aconitum of the family Ranunculaceae. Aconitum napellus is native and endemic to Western and Central Europe. It is a herbaceous perennial plant. Aconitum napellus having an alkaloid called aconitin. The mother tincture of the Aconitum napellus is prepared from the entire plant except the root. Aconitum napellus is an antipyretic, which means an agent that reduces fever. It is a diaphoretic, which means an agent that promotes profuse perspiration. And it is a diuretic, which means an agent that promotes urine secretion. In short, it is having antipyretic, diaphoretic and diuretic properties. If we applied it locally, it stimulates the end of sensory nerves, producing a tingling, soon followed by depression with a numbness and anesthesia. But when taken internally, it produces tingling and numbness of the lips and the mouth and an increased secretion from the salivary glands. The large dose of Aconitum napellus causes constricted feeling in the fauces, pain in the epigastric region, nausea and vomiting. The heart action at first slowed, later it becomes rapid and weak. Arterioles contracted. The respiratory centers are depressed and as a result, respiration becomes slow and shallow. It produces an anxious expression on the face. The skin is pale, cold and covered with perspiration. Some of the therapeutic indications of Aconitum napellus are early stages of rheumatic fever, acute inflammatory diseases of the eyes, glossitis, otalgia with stinging pain, coryza following a sudden change of weather, peritonitis and enteritis, diarrhea, acute urinary tract infection, the first stage of gonorrhea, laryngitis, measles, early stage of rheumatic arthritis, and many other conditions. Aconitum napellus can be indicated. Now let us see about the drug Adonis vernalis. Adonis vernalis is from the family Ranunculaceae. It is a perennial herb found in Northern Europe and Asia. This drug is commonly called pheasant eye, false hellebore. The plant is poisonous, containing cardiostimulant compounds such as adenine and aconitic acid. The mother tincture is prepared from the entire fresh plant. This agent is a cardiac and arterial stimulant and a diuretic. By its directions upon the heart, it increases its rate, force and blood pressure. It diminishes the frequency of the pulse and increases the force of the cardiac contraction. Cyanosis gradually disappears while dyspnea is less marked. Some of the therapeutic indications of Adonis vernalis are hydrothorax, ascites, mitral and aortic regurgitations, chronic aortitis, rheumatic endocarditis, pericarditis, etc. Now come to the next drug, Allium cepa. Allium cepa, commonly known as onion, is a worldwide culinary and therapeutic spice belonging to the family Liliaceae. Onion is found in all parts of the world. Onion is a source of various biologically active compounds such as phenolic acid, thiosulfinate, and flavonoids. This plant has a variety of pharmacological activities including anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, antimicrobial, cardiovascular, antioxidant effects, etc. The mother tincture of Allium cepa is prepared from the fresh red bulb. This agent is acting upon the conjunctiva causing bland lacrimation. It acts on the mucous membrane of the nose, giving rise to acrid coryza. It acts on the larynx and trachea, producing a catarrhal condition. Some of the therapeutic indications of Allium cepa are acute coryza, hay fever, cough, etc. Now come to the next drug, Argentum nitricum. Argentum nitrate, commonly known as Argentine nitrous, silver nitrate. This is a colorless transparent salt occurring in tubular rhombic crystals. The salt and the solutions turn black on exposure to light when organic matter is present. This agent, when applied locally, is caustic, an agent that causes burning or corrosive, destructive to living tissues, but superficially in its action. It produces a dark discoloration due to its union with albumin and fibrin. This agent acts upon the mucous membrane of the stomach. It produces a condition of atony, which means lack of normal tone or strength, with the great flatulence when the poisonous dose is taken to produce vomiting, purging, spasms of the abdominal muscles, convulsions, delirium, a lowering of the heart action, failure of the respiration, and death. The kidney, liver, and all glandular tissues show degenerations, especially those of fatty character. The cartilage of the body show destructive inflammatory changes. The hemoglobin is diminished, and as a result, there is defective oxidation and anemia. The temperature is lowered. In connection with the nervous system, there is headache attended with mental depression, vertigo, restless sleep, spinal weakness, pain in the small of the back, and debility of the extremities that approached paresis. Some of the therapeutic indications of argentum nitricum are ophthalmia neonatorum, conjunctivitis, pharyngitis, chronic laryngitis, gastric ulcer, cirrhosis of the liver, diabetes insipidus, nephralgia, epilepsy, etc. Now come to the next drug, arsenicum album. Arsenicum album, commonly called arsenic oxide. It occurs as a white powder or a white opaque or vitreous lump and is odorless and tasteless. This agent, when applied to the skin, acts as a caustic. Caustic means an agent that causes burning or corrosive, destructive to living tissues and produces a violent inflammation when sloughing of the parts. When small doses are taken, stimulating the flow of saliva and gastric and circulation, stimulating the flow of saliva and gastric and intestinal and nutritive functions. Toxic doses of arsenicum album produces violent gastroenteritis with nausea, diarrhea, and a sense of heat and dryness in the stomach. The heart is rendered irritable and feeble, and fatty degenerations of the myocardium result. The red blood corpuscles are increased in number and the blood is rendered less coagulable. The urine becomes scanty, albuminous, and bloody. The skin shows edema, which extends and becomes a general anasarca if the drug is continued. This is the times followed by eczema, urticaria, herpes zoster, bronzing, and exfoliating of the skin. The hair and nail may fall. The nervous system shows disorders of motility and sensibility, tremors, and multiple neuritis. It is also act as a respiratory depressant. Toxic doses increase the bodily temperature. Though the extremities are cold, it is eliminated by the intestine, kidney, liver, and skin. Some of the therapeutic indications of arsenicum album are periodical headache, winter colds, diphtheria, acute gastritis, peritonitis, cholera, typhoid, myocarditis, pericarditis following measles, nephritis, etc. Now the next drug is belladonna. Belladonna, commonly known as Atropa belladonna or deadly nightshade. It is a poisonous perennial herbaceous plant in the nightshade family Solanaceae. Its root, leaves, and fruits containing alkaloids, atropine, hyoscyamine, and scopolamine. It is native of Europe, North America, and Western Asia. Its distribution extends from Great Britain in the west to western Ukraine and the Iranian province of Galan in the east. It is also naturalized or introduced to some parts of the Canada and the United States. The mother tincture is prepared from the entire fresh plants. This agent, when applied locally, diminishes the sensibility of the sensory nerves, and when absorbed, it produces systemic effects. When taken internally, it lessens the secretions, and as a result, there is a dryness of the mucous surfaces. This is brought about by paralysis of the peripheral nerve endings. At first, the pulse is quickly accelerated and rendered firmer while the arterial tension is increased. The heart muscle is stimulated. But if it is overstimulated, it is then become weak. Full dose stimulates the brain and may produce hallucination and delirium, which may be mild, joyful, talkative, or of a violent type. Accompanying these, there are frequently spectral illusions. The reflexes at first are slightly stimulated, while the later they are diminished. There may be complex motor paralysis. The sensory nerves are depressed, especially from a local applications of the drug. The respiration are quickened and rendered deeper by medicinal doses. Poisonous doses by overstimulating soon result in exhaustion and paralysis of the respiratory centers, and the breathing become shallow, and asphyxia and death may result. The bodily heat is increased. It dilates the pupil and increases the intraocular tension and occasional vertigo. Assimilation is impaired. It is rapidly absorbed and is eliminated by the kidney and bowels. Some of the therapeutic indications of belladonna are acute pharyngitis, acute laryngitis, mastitis, acute conjunctivitis, exophthalmic goiter, air sickness in aviators, vertigo, headache, otitis media, gum boil, acute urinary tract infection, stiff neck, etc. Now, let me conclude for the time being. The remaining portions of the chapter, drug action, will continue in the next section. See you in the next section. Till then, goodbye.
Thanks for watching.
Like,
Comments
share,
and
subscribe.